With the release of Black Forest Lab's new AI model, Flux Kontext, you can create an immersive range of image generation workflows with fewer nodes, more powerful context-aware features, and also it's all Flux lora compatible. It simplifies popular workflows like the sketch-to-photo process. I will take you through the installation and setup for the free dev version in Comfyui, taking a look at standard models and the quantized ones as well. We will be using the Flux Kontext dev version, which is an open source and non-commercial version of the Flux One Kontext Pro, but a smaller 12 billion parameter version. It is a great development model for editing characters, buildings, or objects with consistency, and local editing within context and style references. You can upgrade this to other versions by using the API versions and use the same workflows. The Pro and Max API perform better in certain aspects, so for the final professional image, it's worth taking a look at to upgrade to these. First step by using the Comfyui dev version is updating your Comfyui. This depends on how you installed it, but generally you do it from your Comfyui directory, and there will be an update.comfyui bat file. This will give you access to all the latest workflows. So double-click this, and once processed, you can press any key to continue, and go ahead and start up Comfyui. In the canvas, go to Workflows, Browse Templates, and there will be a Flux tab. There are two workflows for Flux Kontext. The grouped workflows combine nodes to streamline the workflow. I will be using the basic workflow to understand how the process works. When you select the workflow, you may be prompted to install the models, but you can close this window as you see that there is a clear explanation of the exact models you need and where to place them. So there are 3 folders and 4 files to download. The diffusion model, the Flux Kontext Dev FP8 scaled version, which makes it small enough to run on consumer machines. You can click to directly download, or if you click in the box around it, you can find a web address, which can be pasted into your browser, and you can download from here as well. This will then go into your Comfyui directory under Models and Diffusion model. Next is the VAE, which you can download. I suggest renaming it. And following the folder structure diagram, this goes in the VAE folder. For the final text encoders, there is a clip L text encoder, which is the same as the standard Flux One dev model. And for the second text encoder, you need to choose a version depending on your hardware specs. So if you have a less powerful machine, use the FP8 scaled version rather than the FP16. Both of these need to be downloaded and pasted into the text encoder subfolder. From the outset, you can see the workflow is much more condensed, fewer nodes, and with this setup, you can perform a huge range of image generation techniques. I'll quickly take you through each step. At step 1, reload all the models where they are downloaded. If you renamed any of these, make sure you select it again from the dropdown, or it will throw an error. This is encoded via the VAE, and uses the typical Flux conditioning and case sampler nodes. There is a new reference later node in this workflow, which takes the encoded image and uses it as a new reference when generating the image, but you don't need to touch this. If you're familiar with Flux, this works the same way, just to adjust the settings, with steps increasing the quality, and you can change the scheduler and sampler types, varying the generations. So we'll stick with these standard settings for now. Step 2 and 3 is where most of your inputs will go. Let's start with the one of the most powerful features of Flux Kontext, which is context and selective editing. I'll drag in an image of a building here, which I want to keep the same, but only change the material. You see the new node called Flux Kontext Image Scale. It is a very useful node, which scales your input image to keep the same aspect ratio that changes the resolution that works best with Flux. So no math required. If I click on the preview node and Q selected to only run this, you can see that the resolution has changed to best fit Flux. Over in the left here, there are some prompt techniques. For basic modification, you can be simple and direct, the state to maintain the style. It is also good to read these other prompt guides, officially provided by Black Forest Labs. You can see here the max prompt token, for example, is 512, which limits how many words can be used. And below are some sentence structures which should be used. And for small edit prompts, you can use something simple like change to daytime. Or if you want to keep the same style, use the phrase maintaining the same style. But for this example, I will write change the steel facade of the tower from steel to concrete while maintaining the same building and photo style. You can ignore the purple box, which means it is deactivated, as we are not combining images or using reference images for now. I will hit run and wait a minute or so. Now you have the same building and view, but a material change, with no need for new nodes or control nets. What is also interesting to see is that it has slightly rationalized the facade panels as well, to make it work with concrete, be more realistic, rather than just changing the steel frame to a different texture, which is great. For more advanced workflows, such as combining images, you can go to the purple box, right-click, press bypass to activate it again. The image stitch controls where the images are placed in relation to each other. So by default, the second images go to the right, and if I run the preview, you will see the positioning. I will add an empty office space and another image for some furniture to place in it. If I change this to down and run a preview, it will move below. I find this positioning helps the AI understand where to insert the second image. I'll prompt to place both images in one scene, otherwise it will separate them out. Now add some details on how I want them to combine. If I run this now, it will combine the widths of the original images to make one long one. And also you see it hasn't combined properly. To fix this and get better control, we can use a custom aspect ratio. Move up to find a purple box called empty latent image, right-click and press bypass to activate again. You can simply connect this empty latent image node up to the case sampler. Whatever resolution you set here will be used for the final image now. So I'll generate again using that resolution. Now we have that furniture nicely placed in the office at 1024 by 1024. But this is a great workflow for populating architectural spaces. There are a huge range of workflows that can be used with these nodes, which I'll cover more in following videos, as this one is to cover the basics installation. I also want to show you how to use the GGUF or quantized versions of Flux Kontext if you have a smaller GPU. So what are quantized versions? Well, these are designed to optimize the model's performance and memory usage by reducing the precision of the weights and activations, although the quality decrease is very small, so generally it is worth it for low-spec machines. And these replace the diffusion model and clip loader. These come in a large range from Q2 to Q8 with lettered versions, which you can find on the Hugging Face site, links provided in the description below. So top to bottom, it starts with smaller versions, which run faster but at lower quality, to larger models and better quality. If you're going to use these, I recommend going in the middle at Q4 version KM. You can always upgrade later. This is saved in models and UNet. Then you have to do the same with the clip models, so download a matching one. And this is saved in models and clip. To run these, you need the GGUF custom node. So go to Manager, Custom Nodes Manager, search for GGUF and install. I already have it installed. There are two nodes to add, the UNet loader GGUF and the dual clip loader GGUF. From the UNet loader, drop down, you can select the base model you just downloaded, and then you can remove the load diffusion model and connect the UNet to the case sampler. Do the same with the dual clip loader, so add the GGUF text encoder and clip model, and then go down to delete the old one, and this connects the text prompt. If you're not happy with the Q4 versions, you can try the Q8. And the VAE just uses the standard VAE of Flux. To test the quality, I'll add a modern glass office tower and a red sports car to combine with. I will change the stitch direction to down as I want the car in the bottom of the scene. And I'll add the prompt. In the same scene, a red car is driving down the road. Now I'll run and wait a minute. It has run much faster and still amazing quality. So this is just an additional option and good to know, as you'll be hearing a lot about quantized and GGUF models in the world of generative AI. There are plenty of useful workflows for this model, which I'll cover in another video in more depth, but this should give you enough knowledge to get started and testing your own workflows.